streaming live. Check, check. Got the monitor on to make sure I'm good. Just setting things up. So this is number 28, I believe. Let's see. Well, I've got my iPad getting ready to go here. I'm just gonna explain what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take off these headphones. So first off, welcome. It's number 28, right? Yo, Kenton, what's up? So number 28, we are decided to do some hair, draw some hair, and kind of spawned from all the work I was doing today. Which, by the way, today was a win. It was a kick-ass day, so the stream is going to be extra kick-ass today. I'm going to put the, let's see, I'm going to do everything on iPad today, so give me a second. I'll get the chat up and running. Yo, what's up, guys? Valerie, how you doing? I'm having a couple cherries because cherries are in season, and they're awesome. Okay, so let me get chat going. Chat. Cool. So, yeah, dude, cherries are the best. Like, especially in July. July is the time, the perfect time, perfect place. Um, and yeah, I needed a little something. Sometimes you need something at the desk with you. You know, usually it's nice to have coffee or drink, some cherries, you know, what have you. Um, and so yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I was doing a character today for Star Circuit, and I was just analyzing the hair for him. And I looked back at what I did for the hair for what I did for Atlas, and I used tracing paper on top of paper to figure that out. With Photoshop, we don't care about that, or rather, Clip Studio, we don't care about the tracing paper because we got layers and everything. So yeah, just had this whole the hair on the brain, and I think my visual library for hair. I mean, I've seen a lot of hairstyles, but I don't think my visual library is very keen, you know, great at what I've seen. Like, I haven't studied it really. I haven't looked. I haven't paid attention enough. Um, so we're gonna do some of that. I'm gonna try to look at hair for both men and women, and we're just gonna put them on little skull-looking shaped heads. My great 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 grandpa died from raw cherries. Oh my Jesus! Bad cherries. Is that a thing? You're scaring me, dude. I'm not sure if I should. We got a couple left. I think I'm safe. But dude, that's crazy. If that's true, that's crazy. But you know, I think it's worth it. Are you serious? Who is the 12th president? And I'm not the definitely not the historian. Cue me in on that, Kenton. Zach, Jesus, Zachary Taylor. Wow, I didn't know that. Jeremy never clued me in on that. I think that's a good piece of history for you. Let me get the iPad up and running. That's really interesting. Germ, he's here. All right, check this out. Clip Studio. All right, was it Tuesday? Tuesday. Number 28. Super kick ass. F you, Joe. Dude, I'm just saying. Just saying, dude. I feel like that's a super cool bit of information. Anyway, I'm gonna bring up the some of the hair stuff I'm looking at here. Um, I'm just gonna go with this first one here. I'm just gonna screenshot a few of them. Um, that way I don't have to have the browser up the whole time. I think that's a cool one too over here. Because I can see it kind of hitting gravity. Right, we're doing long hair styles right now, but we're going to do some short hair for girls and boys soon. All right, let's just do a couple here before we do anything. All right. Let's see. Val, yeah, Val has said something, I think. I'm pretty sure. Um, why is my video output low? Riddle me this, yo. Riddle me this on my video output. All right. Cherry time. So, I looked up a bunch of things for hair stuff in books, and then I scoured YouTube for the best videos. And yeah, I'm pretty much sure that no one has really done like line art tutorials, except for there's a David Finch one, and Robert Muzzullo. He's like kind of like a indie-ish kind of artist that's really big on YouTube. I was surprised about his following, and I haven't heard of him. YouTube's a crazy place, you know. It's like the dude started 10 years ago, so he's got a fan base that is off the charts. So, meanwhile, Dave Finch he's got like 5,000 people, and he's the bomb. But anyway, so line art, there's not too many tutorials doing it that way. There even go look them up online. Go look up how to draw hair, and you will find a lot of people saying how to draw hair, but really they're painting, and it's a totally different process. It's super confusing for me. Why has no one stopped these people from deceiving young aspiring artists? But yeah, it's a totally different process. Painting is almost like additive sculpture. Like you're adding strips to it. Whereas I feel like the way to do it with hair, line art wise, is subtractive. Like, as you're saying, Jeremy, shapes. Shapes, yo. He's right. So I use shapes and then kind of cut away and chisel away. Sometimes add, but point is it's a different process than painting. I was just frustrated looking up on research for this stuff. So that being said, let's get to it. You know, so for you to draw well, like I brought up the whole visual library argument before. So before you can draw well on a certain subject, you need to know the whole like variety of things out there. So with hairstyles, you need to like know what looks good, what doesn't look good, and especially when you're drawing, you need to know how to use your shapes and line theory and shape theory, all of that to your advantage. But it's an interesting thing for sure. We're going to try to get into the drawing part. Jeremy says drawing is carving in 2D, 2x rather. He is right. It's carving in 2x. Maybe outline the perimeter of the hair. Draw guide hairs running from each vertex, using them to determine the flow. No, that's not too simple necessarily. It's pretty much how it works, and I don't know. People struggle because, like the finished line quality determines a lot of how good things look and why people are frustrated or not frustrated with hair. I don't know what size this is. Not really. I think that's the size of my promo image, and that's why it defaulted to that. All right, so donkeys, yes, donkeys. So let's start with the head. How about that? It's a weird place to start. You thought I was going to be drawing head here. I'm drawing arm hair, and it's super simple. Trying to think. So nothing against all the videos I saw, but I think it was just mislabeled for the most part. I guess most people consider painting drawing and drawing painting. Not to me. I feel like drawing as an etching is way different. Okay. So let's use a darker pencil. This is not a teaching thing. This is me experimenting with what I see, and you guys can follow along and see how cool things can turn out if we follow the rules. And it still can turn out really good if you don't follow the rules as well. All right, so look at this model lady here. So this model lady, she's got like a slightly turned head here, but we're just gonna give the basics. You know, we're just giving a line for the front to show the symmetry in which life is based upon, and so her face is somewhat like this. We don't really care about the rest except for the hairline. So she's kind of tilted downward. Her eyes are somewhere here halfway. And then the hairline is mirror-ish. Right on mirror. So all these people are Jeremy's texting away. Read through. Breezes. I like how you just wrote breezes. It's funny. Wavy hair is balance. Weight is key to hair shapes. Thin hair, tender, one way. Thick hair has more variation in shape. All have feathered tips. I feel like that's like a super random bunch of tips. That's awesome. I like how you put it all together. It's funny. I looked up the terms natural hairstyles and nothing comes up but black lady like natural hairstyles. Like nothing else comes up besides that. If you look that up, it's pretty crazy. I thought I'd get a few, but I guess that's a very popular topic. All right, so with this lady, you can see where the hair is sprouting from, and that's the key. And it's like this little, her part's kind of like this down the head. And you can see kind of where the crown starts to lift, whatever else. So with hair, like Mr. Bailey said, it's you do want to like pick up little what's the term? Almost like giant ribbons of it instead of small ribbons. And that's how a lot of people, especially, Finch has said it. Many of the other people have said it as well. But you want to, obviously, like Jeremy's saying, obey gravity. But for now, we're just going to analyze the giant ribbons. And so I see like this giant Bieberish ribbon here. And I'm clumping that together. You know, her eyes are here, so it probably goes down a little more. But, yeah. Yeah, one ribbon there. Looks like there's another big chunk that swoops down below. Like here. Maybe not that far. Here. Probably come back around. Like meow. And then over here. This looks like almost 2 ribbons worth over here, but we're just gonna go with it. like behind it almost, is this another set of ribbons that kind of go right behind that first one. My iPad keeps sliding. Why did I get rid of my Wacom tablet? No, I'm super glad I did. I'm sorry, Wacom. Some people say Wacom tablets. It just wasn't serving me, not servicing me. But yeah, it wasn't serving me well anymore. And then back here is our little crown. So there's some hair back there. This would be another like ribbon, if you will, the back side. And then off the side over here is another clumping ribbon section. Maybe one little split, like so. All right. Yeah, you can break it up even simpler, as Jeremy's saying. However, I would say whatever reference you're looking at here is going to be probably um, a little different than every other picture you're looking at, and that's kind of the whole reason why I'm doing it, to get the exact things that are going on. But correct, you probably could just split it up into bangs and then pretty much the left or right side, especially from the front. But as I'm looking at it, this, especially this right side of the head part, for our perspective at least, it's almost all one. Um, there's one that kind of curves around the head here, like mirror, um, and I'm just really chunkingly. I'm not like pretending that I'm putting in good lines here. I'm not um, going for that at this point in time, but just kind of chunking everything together, and that's what I'm doing to analyze for me. You guys can have fun and just watch, but for me, I'm trying to remember what these things look like. This is for me. I don't think you have to split up each tip, but look at like this one is debatable. That's why the tip is a little different. But you want to look at the planes, like just like if you look at the head, there's the plane for the nose, right? Um, and here there's one side, and the top of the nose is another side. Looking at the kind of the same thing, like this clump is probably more all facing one direction, and this clump here is all kind of facing another direction. That's why here there could be another split, because the one underneath could be facing another direction. But yeah, I think that the tip idea may be a better way to explain it, especially in simpler terms. Um, but yeah, that's, I think I like that simplification as well. Oh yeah, no, cool, dude. I'm not worried with, throw out as many suggestions as possible. I'm going with the flow. If you say something, and you already have kind of with your ramble of awesome tips, um, I'm definitely using that. However, for me, I like to break it down as simply, not simply, but more like almost factually as possible. So for me to remember, obviously remember the part for me to remember, and then remember the planes uh, that we're seeing. So on top of that, I want to see, you can see the highlight, the shine, the reflection, if you will, and it's like this rim right around here. Um, it's more, you can see where it jumps when it jumps to the new clump a little bit. Uh, and then it goes a little higher up there. But yeah, so that's what I'm also looking at, that little reflection there. That part I'm not super worried about. I'm going to lower the opacity and then go in there and break it up some more. And I think but you see what I said about how hair can help with facial placement. Joe doing great, blah, blah, blah. No, I missed that. Um, Wacom. Yeah, I see that now. Let's see. Huh. Yeah, I picked her picture for that specific reason. It's like super simple, a great first step. I don't see where you said that. I don't see where you said it could help facial work. The whole point of hair, though, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it goes along the lines of what I kind of figure about hairstyles in general. Like the whole point of hair is, and hair fashion is to kind of accent the face, right? So you're trying to have things that like if you want to make it more cool, you can give little curly cues that point more to the face, maybe, or anything that accents the face. And in her case, it's probably um, already pretty good. Like she's got this sweet, cool shaped framing like of these lines that kind of create negative space for this little section here of the face. Um, so I think that's what you mean. On the phone, me and you were talking about that. Oh yes, yes. I thought you meant right now, and definitely. I mean, I find that's the whole point of, I mean, character design with hair. So, all right, let me lower down the opacity and jump to a new layer, and we shall go in here and I mean, there's not much to detail, but there's a couple steps. And for step one, this is very similar to two of the things I saw because Cinex does a hair one, but it's more like painting again, like I said, and at the same time also, um, who else? Cinex, and then yeah, Aldori, Ahmed Aldori says similar things about the clumping, and then also the um, kind of the breakup afterward. And then there's this little final process of adding little stray hairs and stuff that really add to like the natural look. Um, and different hairstyles are totally different. That's why we're doing these studies. So we're gonna jump in and just try to get what we want. Um, and this time I'm gonna be a little bit more careful about my lines and I'm not drawing in eyes. You could put lines in here to like kind of help or figure out where they were, you know. Um, for me, it somewhat helps because it helps me like figure out dimension, I guess. Um, but yeah, what you want really with hair is when I do hair anyway, I find this like the beauty curve, which is this long line and this small one. And Finch talks about this in his video for a minute, which is like a long line and then this small little curve at the end. Um, Goku's hair help you draw anime, you know? What? Yeah, I'm sure it does. Goku's hair is weird because they don't obey 3D the way like I think that's what you mean. I think it's I don't think Goku's hair obeys 3D laws. I think you could look at him in a video game um, in a better way, you know, and figure that out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find. I think I think studying Goku's hair is a little confusing, really, for anybody, especially for new people. But I don't get the concept of that. I think it's just good for ease of use and drawing. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. But here I'm going to put in these lines kind of um, quickly. Sometimes that helps. Her hair is like extra pointy for some reason, right? It's like not the best. It's like a mix between like long hair and like a bob kind of thing, right? Because it's like stiff almost. It feels like it's stiff. But all right, at the end we have this little thing. I forget what Jeremy would call this, but yeah. For me, what you really need to do is work on the contour, like the silhouette. So we kind of have a good one on this side, and I know I didn't do this at first on the other side, but this is kind of what I do when I actually do draw hair. I try to get the contour, that way you can figure out um, exactly what's going on. Yeah, man. Almost like if you blur your eyes, it still doesn't happen. But oh, it's almost where you could blur the eyes and think that for sure. Aniston, totally. You can see it. You can feel it. You can feel it. Let's see. Zoom out a little bit. Cool. I'm not trying to get like a perfect replica. What I'm trying to do is find the same look. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about if it follows the same proportions, but more like that it looks like the same hairstyle and looks good on in a drawing form. So, you know, looks like she got some split ends over here though, down the bottom. Like here. All right. Cool. All right. So at this point, like once you get like longer strands, you can do the technique of viewing it as a ribbon. Um, and in her case, there's not a whole lot of that, but um, she's got more of that like straight look, the straight like you know ironed look. So there's not a whole lot of waviness or curviness or bounce at all, you know. But that's why we're doing this, to figure out what makes all this stuff tick, you know. So here we get a little bit of it. I don't know how far I want to push this. And hair's tricky, man, because like all different styles are um, similar but different in some ways. All right, so over here, there's the shoulder, and we just want to get this last little strand on some footing. Some gravity going on here. Yo, Chaz, what's going on, man? Slash the hair contours? What do you mean by slash, my friend? Slash the hair contours. Let's get a little more volume on the side here. No, I'm just wondering what you mean on slash the contours. All right, so there's the girl. So for comics, what we're concerned with most here is line weights, one, two, drop shadows, cast shadows, um, and then showing the highlight. If it's black hair or dark hair, then we'll color it and leave the highlight white. But in this case, we're probably, if they were going to color it, we wouldn't color this in. So um, yeah, that's a lot of the flow. Like for the lumpiness, like it's hard to get clean lines, and that just comes with like getting a good flow going on. And like I said, it's one of those days where I drew on paper all day, so cannot feel where the tip of my Apple Pencil is on the screen because it's glass. It's one of those things. If I drew on this thing all day, I'd probably have a better luck with finding the right lines quickly. Um, but yeah, it has to do with that. So you need to practice like doing these lines over and over, um, like doing the ribbon technique, which is like imagine a ribbon here, right, and then it twists. So at some point it'll go to that and then flip, and now it's on this side. So at some point maybe the highlight's here, and now you have a spot. It's like a really small highlight, and now you'd have the hair colored in there, and then this would be black as well. But point is, that's the ribbon technique, and um, this hair is more clumpy naturally anyway. Like there's certain parts that you probably could pull this off, and that's what I'm trying to recognize as we're doing this. So this thing looks like it turns a little bit. So I could exaggerate that by putting the line further down, and then have these lines here kind of fray like they're doing, but more exaggerated. Um, Maybe more like this. That could work. Um, but I do like how it turns, and inside here would be dark, and outside there is light. Um, I do like that. You know what I noticed? There's no music on right now. Why do I not have music on? Oh yeah, no, this is one of those programs as well. Can go in here and you see this little thing on the left side. It says, actually, it doesn't say right here. Stabilization. You see that stabilization at the bottom? That is what you're talking about here. And I have it low. If you want to get easy lines, turn that boy up, and now all my lines will be much more beautiful. Very easy, right? However, that's what I call cheating. Um, you know, you can get easier lines um, much quicker. Uh, you know, but to me, I like to keep the stabilization like kind of minimal. I had to like two. We can turn up to three. That might help. Because sometimes you get not exactly the line you want in the first place. Anyway, that's what I was going with there. Here, we're going to exaggerate this part. Maybe like that. Man, really hard to get lines going the way I want them right now. Don't know why. Rusty. Interesting. All right, so want everything but this set here. And if you want, you can put a little bit more of the crown, but I think that would just make it more and more or less attractive. But I think what we have here is perfectly good. All right, so what you want to do is thicken up some of the bottoms of these lines, like from this is coming from like underneath, so maybe thicken up the base of this line and then get thick to thin. You know what I mean? Um, and once you start doing that, then you can add some extra, I think, extra lines. Like here, she's got. You can see the contour of the hair because she's got like what is it, highlights? So you can see which way they're going like this, and you just want to pick a couple that really define the shape um, pretty well. One that looks good. I'm still trying to find that couple lines. I don't want to divide it too much. Usually putting things on the edges of shapes helps. Something like this maybe, and there is a couple hairs coming off, and this is kind of more the last step, but I like to do that to help. You know, that kind of defines it for us a little bit. And the same thing. So we're just gonna kind of go down here and put in a darker line weight, heavier line weight rather, down here. And it's going to trail off to more thin down at the bottom there. We do the same thing over here. And there's a couple spots where we'll put in the black work. We'll do that. Okay. Let's get some music on first. That's why it feels weird. Yeah, dude, I don't cheat. Everybody knows that. Let's see. Here's a stupid question. How do you, what is it? How do you bring up the reference pop-up window? The reference pop-up window? Oh, the one that you see on screen, like on the program. So here's not a stupid question because I'm actually cheating the system. I'm overlaying it on top of my computer. On my screen, I'm not actually seeing it. So I've got two different screens. On my iPad, I don't see the girl. On the um, on the desktop I've overlaid the screen there. So it's almost like cheating. It looks like it's cheating, you guys, but no, you guys see the picture. I don't see it on my iPad. It's only on the output to the stream. Sorry for the deception, but good question, Chaz. That was not a stupid question. That's a sneaky thing on my part. I'm trying to keep, you know, just it works better than having to move it in on the screen because it takes up more space, obviously. So, I think we shall put on. Hmm. I listened to something cool today. I can't remember what it was though. Can't remember. What did I put on? And I was like, I'm gonna save this for the stream, and now I forgot. Bummer. All right. Looks like we're just gonna put on whatevs. And don't say ghost, Jeremy. Not putting on ghost. Just joking. Let's put on some of this. All right, cool. Ghost. All right. So want to get that nice curve. It's a little clunky there, but no worries. We'll edit it a little bit. Still a little clunky. This is why I like doing it at one pass. You get a better look and feel. I don't know what I put on just now. Can't remember. Alright, I'm gonna try to move more quickly and stop zooming in. We don't need to see it like that. I'm trying to check out multiple hairstyles here. Just can't help it sometimes. Alright, let me look at her. So inside, her neck is like over here, right? So inside, all this is going to be probably dark against the light shades. So we can erase away a little bit more. That way we can have enough negative space to pull this off. I don't know why is it so hard to draw on an iPad right now. It just is. Like it's really caused me trouble today. I'm not getting any flow. Bummer. So yeah, within here we would shade. I'm not super worried about shading well. But yeah, all this would be black inside here. Naturally, that's the dark spot. Again, up here, we'll do some more thick to thin. All right. Maybe I should cheat just for the stream. Just so we can get places. That's the question. I only use that feature for logo work. Cheat. I hear you. I can't do that. I always feel bad. It's my curse. I literally, some days I start to cheat, like my own methods, and then halfway through I throw out what I was cheating on. I was like, I can't do it. Like it stays in me, almost like an OCD. I don't even know if I need to put a line thickness up there. Maybe just down here. Just sucks when your marks don't go where you want them to go. All right, it's getting there. It's like, so from here, like you pretty much can throw in the highlight and kind of get where you want to go. I'm looking at how the contours move for this style, and she's got highlights in her hair, so it makes it kind of easy actually. And then, like you said, throw some wispies in here if you want, just a little bit. I don't like the ends, and that's kind of a lot of what makes the hair look good. Okay. I'm gonna redo this whole strand because it just doesn't feel right. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, folks? And you almost kind of need like a different technique for almost different hairstyles. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Alright, that was not bad. We'll take it. I'm just going to draw in physically the highlight. And I'm like a little man in a show telling you to jump in the lava. Yes, yes. I probably do need to reward myself once in a while for that. But let's see. For this stuff, I try to keep the highlights pretty simple, kind of like I'm doing here. Let me just go with a lighter line. And you shouldn't probably not pay so much attention to like how like the general rule is like a river. The way I think about when you're doing the shine on a piece of hair, I do it like a river, like it should be mimicked each side. So almost like a sound wave, and that's how I kind of do it. And it would just come across this way. Something like that, you know what I mean? And yeah, not really sure I like this part, but overall it's pretty good. I'm gonna probably just leave it and move on to the next one. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, since this has like a little curve over here, like the wireframe for the hair would do this. So you're gonna get another highlight here, and then depending on your style, that's gonna depend on how much you hit this with highlights and whatnot. Um, but yeah, something like that. We're moving on to the next one because we don't have a lot of time. All right. The next one I got is somewhat similar, I think. So I may grab something like super new. Let me see. Did it open or what? What the hell? Clicked it. I double clicked, I swear. This one's a little more different. I think it's a good next progression for sure. See if we can knock this one out a little quicker. How about that? Well, if the shine were coming right from above, you would get a halo. From the left, wouldn't produce that. I need to look at that other image again, but I'm moving on. Got to keep moving on. So this hair here is a similar kind of bob, just a little longer, a little more wavy, a little more bounce. I think a little more attractive. But at least we're getting a little, you can see the cross that's happening in the hair. All right, so first let's just draw the head shape, right? Let's kind of keep it small-ish. Yeah, let's keep it like this size. And then the mid of the head is here somewhere. Same thing, it's over here like this. There's our head. Pretty even across this way. Eyes will be around here somewhere. Alright. Okay. I don't need to draw any more than that. I just want to get the shape somewhat right so I can know the hairline. Something like this. Alright. Yeah, I'm not super sure without looking at the last image, Ken, but I think it's. I mean, the highlight and the halo are those two different things you're talking about? I think they're two different things as far as I know. All right, so looking at our head here, let's erase away some of these small lines. That way we can get a little clearer. Actually, let's copy and paste this into another layer. Or cut and paste, rather. So now it's on its own layer. Should be. And now I can drop the opacity when I need to. Alright. Cool. Her hairline's kind of high. You guys noticing this? Just gonna lighten up the contour here so I can barely see it. Alright, now let's look and see. Looks like the crown. I mean, that's the center of the head, right? Crown's somewhere over here, like where the hair is sprouting a little bit, right? So there, and then some of it's coming over here. It looks like the part is like somewhere in this range. So this time we're going to do ribbons like this. I'm going to start with a flat shape up here. And I'm pretty much going to take this clump that goes over the eye and bring it down. This ribbon has like a little bend to it, but I'm going to still count it all as one. Cool. So now the kind of the ribbon stops here-ish. And though it gets frayed down there, I'm just going to keep it blocky for now. Alright. So there's another little piece back here that I'm not super concerned with because you don't see much of it. But then off this spot comes another couple and it loops around on top of everything, which is pretty weird. So from here, there's like a ribbon that goes from there to there, and this one hops across it all. It curves up to her. See how this accents like her face? Like it's bringing everything into her eyes or her face overall. Alright. Something like that. And then the ribbon seems like it's to here. Did my music stop for some reason? Cool. See that? It's a little messy, but we're getting the point. I'm getting the point. That's the whole idea. This is like the rough stuff, you know? So you're just trying to get the ribbon right. And here, it may be split up in two different separate ribbons, so I'm just keeping it clumpy right now, but it might be split up one more time. So maybe that goes like that, and there's another piece that kind of joins with it from back here as well. Cher. Don't bring up Cher. Do you believe? I could never get that high, dude. It's so funny when someone can do it. I think Dave Cruz was the last person I heard that sang it insanely well. I think you sing it pretty well, Jeremy, right? You can get that high. Um, all right. Anybody like the game Fez? Because I'm about to play some Fez. It's like one of the best soundtracks for a game ever. Dude, I didn't mean. When I say hi, let me clarify. I mean pitch. Alright. Like we're chopping that. Okay, so now behind is another set of ribbons here. I think this could be the same one, but we're just going to bring it down like this. Kind of accenting the face of the shape there. Alright, so shoulder is here. So seems like this hair is resting on some of the shoulder. Carpenter Brute is good as hell, man. Not gonna lie. Of course, man. I am all about the shenanigans. Yeah, this is Disasterpiece. He's the bomb. I need to get this on. I think he won the award for best soundtrack this year too, or that year, not this year. But damn, it's good. Alright, so here's one clump that is kind of doing this little river kind of thing around. And then the back has got like some stray hairs, which I'm not sure if I'm going to draw or not. This little clumping. Outside of that, there's a couple of curly cues over here, you know. And you can consider that a whole ribbon or two. Let's see. Something in that range. There's that. There's other, like, a little bit of a mess that's going on down here, which I think you can pretty much go in the similar directions and still get what you want. Alright, her neck is over here somewhere, so from here over, I mean, this is going to be kind of shadowed out, but everything definitely over here is going to be black. Okay, so now let's do this weird hairline. She's got like a weird receding hairline or something. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, miss. I didn't mean to insult you. I know you're... I mean, she's a model, so she's in the public sphere. Probably should go a little bit lower with this one. Alright. This could get a little bigger than what I drew it, but it's essentially there. I'm just looking at everything. So here's your basic construction right there. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. I'm hoping everything just flows quicker and quicker. I think that's just also because of the iPad. Dude, I swear to God, when you go from drawing on paper to the glass on this iPad, it's so jarring. And I've been drawing on paper all day, so it's... I'm expecting it. It's just easier to see my face and do the iPad and have this, like, you know... I think it's better for streaming here than you just seeing the artboard and it being dark and barely visible. You know what I mean? I think this is more conducive to real talk and real drawing, you know. Carpenter Brutes is awesome. I just discovered them today. Oh, really? Just today? Dude, what's that game he did? He did one of the tracks for, maybe it's called Journey, maybe? Not Journey. Not Journey, the classic, but the, like, Journey, like Jiri? No? That's a comic. Something like that, though. It's like a arcadey kind of game for PlayStation. Anyway. You must be like water. That was a bad accent. You must be like, what is the usual term? They say like water, but fluid like water. All right. Let's turn down the opacity and roll on this thing. This time, I'm getting a little more confidence in my lines, so it's about to go down way quicker, guys. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie with you. Here it's all about how much am I gonna exaggerate this curve. You know? That ain't bad. I'll take it. Alright, so like I said, there's like this divot of hair right where I marked it. So we can split it up kind of into like this ribbon that kind of like it's all this big clump. So you don't really want to split it up into separate ribbons if you don't have to or don't want to. I think it's going to look worse if I do that. So it's all nice and together. I think what we'll do is a little bit of breaks like that maybe. Because the hair comes down this way like so. Trying to decide how frayed and not frayed I'm going to do this end. Okay. Alright, hair. Let's champion this. You do life drawings without lifting pen, without looking at paper, you get better naturally. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean about what? Get better at what? From that is the question. Judging? What do you get better at? Tell me. Like judging your lines, judging your shapes. For me, it's all about feel, at least with hair here. Like I draw hair, I think a little quicker. Maybe not a whole lot quicker, but I definitely feel it more than this glass. Like there's no, I can't tell how far, like my beauty lines are wonky a little bit because of that reason, I think. So here's a little bit of a strand down here that I kind of want to rotate like a ribbon a little bit. Trying to figure out how. Something like that. Maybe not that far in. Maybe more like, yeah. What are you saying? I think he's talking about hand control. Blind drawing. If you learn to blind draw, well then hand coordination will be a cinch. standard exercise, really. This guy taught us that as well. Well, I've done plenty of them, but I don't see. I don't know. It's tough. I get it, but I mean, I don't do them all the time. Yeah, it's almost like yeah, training with weights in some weird way. It's a good analogy, maybe. Um, Maybe I'll do more of them. I don't see. I like I said, I've done a few of them, and well, several in the past, but a good handful of them at different times in school and whatnot. But I don't see how that would. I just don't see how that translates to you know to different things. Like hair is this precision thing, and if you look at this Apple Pencil, look at this. Look at this Apple Pencil, guys. It's very blunt. It's like you can't find the right line with it for some reason. Like when I put down, I'm trying to connect from here to there. It's slightly off, and I can't figure like the. I don't know how you correct that with blind contour. I think that's just like technology, and you just getting used to what you're using. Personally, I think that's what I'm feeling anyway. Let's see. But yeah, I'm all about doing whatever to get better. It's not really about the calibration. It's more just like how the stylus is. It's definitely thicker than it's made to resemble like a blunt pencil, you know. Bless his heart. It's so funny. But no, no, I'm always self-conscious, dude. Um, so literally, this pencil is uh, like I guarantee you, come draw with it, Jeremy. I don't know if you've drawn with one before, but it's hard to connect lines. It's unless you're drawing it for a while and you get a good feel. But yeah, I um, I think that's half the problem here, anyway. But I will do some blind contours. I mean, if you think it's gonna help, dude, I like how you um, corrected my Wacom Wacom. Oh, did Chaz ask a question or something? Did I miss something? Oh, hand-eye coordination. I thought we were just talking about it overall. Oh, geez. I think now I understand it all. I think it makes sense now that you think I'm self-conscious. I thought you were just like commenting on just the comment. That's funny. I didn't see that comment from Chaz. That's a good way to do it, though. Yeah, hand-eye coordination for blind contours. That makes sense. Um, Here's what I would do, Chaz. I know these guys from SCAD. They think they're all that, you know. But I'm self-taught, you know. So I picked up a few techniques from a few different things. So what you need to do is this. You need to set up a sheet for yourself, Chaz, and it's a whole bunch of studies. So, like, say this is your paper. I know I'm having trouble drawing just a sheet of paper, but hand-eye coordination. You need to learn how to draw straight lines, right? So you start out with 2 points and draw a straight line, and then slowly get longer and longer. And this is a full-size sheet of paper, so it's going to get pretty tough, right? Um, Now, you want to do the same thing with curves. So set yourself up like a strip, and you want to do up and down the same way. Now, here's the trick. You've done that, right? You need to do each one, Chaz, here's the key. You need to do each one 8 times over and over on top of each other. Like that. And when you don't have wiggly lines and stuff, then you know you're getting to the point where you can draw straight lines. You know what I mean? So keep drawing over and over, and you'll get the feel. You can do the same things with ellipses and get good at that, or circles rather. So you have there, and then draw ellipse, and you don't have to do them over and over. But here with this one, you can kind of overlap them and see if you're getting the same kind of degree. This I picked up from Peter Hahn, who's an awesome. That's funny, dude. Um, you need to believe everybody you talk to, which is kind of crappy because a lot of times there's shenanigans online and there's a lot of people that think they know what the hell they're talking about, um, including me. So take mine with a grain of salt. But this is coming from Peter Hahn. This is a dude teaching at Center. And this is where I picked up him. This is his dynamic sketching class. So this is how you get good at drawing. See how I'm tilted the paper? That's because I know from this perfect angle of 45 degrees, I can draw straight lines pretty well. And so you need to do that with curves, with circles, and that's how you practice at least those things. I think the blind contour helps with shapes and just getting that on lockdown. However, that's what I would do. I missed that question. I was so into doing my hair, I missed Chaz's question. All right, let's see. See, this chick has got like this little sprout on the top, and I like to have like a science to everything, but I think I'm slowly learning that maybe some things are not meant to be. Like hair is pretty organic, and I think that's why I have trouble with it. It means you can do, as long as you put in beauty lines, anything works almost. Um, Not exactly, but reasonably. So, yes, Jeremy, draw with the whole arm. Jeremy's right. Unless it's too small. If it's so small, you end up. Sometimes, if it's super small, you might have a better shot at it. Um, you know, without the whole arm. Or if you're doing a curve, you want to go with the wrist, right? So, kind of like what I'm doing here, I'm just using the wrist. I'm actually trying to find this contour of the whole head a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, this model, not the girl herself, but the model of hair is way better for us, for our purposes. It's like what we're looking for. Oops, I didn't want that eraser. Yeah, there's something about the different sizes. I opted for the small size as well, Canon, because my arm got tired. And you can make the excuse I could, you need to work out more or whatever. But to me, I was like very, um, I don't know. I was like not tired because you're not moving much, but like you got sore in different places in your shoulder. I was like getting kinks and started popping. So I was like, this is dumb. Like, let me just go for a little smaller. I know for Jeremy, he's like um, a legal giant. So the 22 inch is perfect. In fact, it's too small. So that's what I hear. That's what he's told me in private. All right. Let's get this little ribbon over here. So down. Want to see if that's the line I want. Something like that. I don't know exactly sure what I want here. I'm trying to find it. Okay. All right. So kind of chop away at this one and hide it, but see this hair back here? These are like stray ends, and you kind of need to just finesse your way into like making decent lines back here. Jesus. Look, man, what my methods are my own, alright? Don't give away my secrets. It is, and I don't know. I'd also suggest to Chaz, if he's listening, to do warm ups. I mean, at least in the beginning, that really helped me. It still helps me today, but sometimes you just don't have time to do warm ups every day, you know. But if you do, like every day, it's kind of like a little bit of a. Sometimes it's a battle to get your eye and your hand to work together, and like in this situation, which is going from digital or traditional to digital, it's another battle. So, um, and for me, it's a lot of mindset too. It's like I've kind of got like a very split brain, so it's hard for me to jump into, like, say if I was writing for a while. That's why I write in the early morning. Like, if I'm gonna write, I'm gonna write like at 5 in the morning, because it's hard for me to jump from writing to art or art to writing, because you're jumping between brains, other hemispheres of the brain. For me, it's a little tough. This is a family-friendly stream. Oh my god. No, Jeremy. I think. Um, like I don't know. There's like a. It's hard to like define how much hard work you're doing. You know what I mean? Not just you. I mean, in general, everyone. Because it all depends on how you define hard work. If you're just talking about drawing, I think you draw probably as much or more than me. But um, how hard it is for you to draw, I don't know. You seem like you do it pretty easy. I struggle, um, but I'm sure you have struggles as well. No joke. However, we're getting close to where we want to see this figure. See, the ambient lighting is harder to see, but there is a highlight like mirror like there, and you could put a shimmer there. What I will do is maybe just leave it ambient and just put in hair, like you know, more detail in the hair, and just leave it not so defined, possibly. Trying to figure out where that line's supposed to go. I know I'm spinning the page a lot. Okay, so this thing. Okay, I see. This is the hair that's supposed to like hop all the other hairs. It's supposed to hop. Um, so I'm going to try to use similar shape language here to kind of show what I'm trying to do, if I can. Not the same exact one, because this one's got a curve in space. I mean, look at this weird hairline. I don't even know what to say about that. Don't even know. It's just me being judgy. So here we can do like a couple hairs that come down maybe, just to give it a little more character. Over here there's some blacks that need to be kind of delineated in here, so always keeping hair thin the better, you know, usually. So I'm just gonna put in some marks in here. I may use the other pencil, but for now, like, I think it may be better to shade it with the contour though. Let's do that. There should be a set of blacks there, and then down here as well, which we can roughly put in. Yeah, I know, dude. Jesus. It's like it is time flying. I'm just trying to like actually find what I want from what we're doing here. Time is flying though. You are correct. Yeah, we may just jump to the next one because I think the rest is just filling in blacks, right? And I think we got what we're looking for. Maybe throw in a few line weights here. I think turning the page is insanely helpful, and I have been doing that, so maybe that's something that I should be doing to help myself a little bit. Up here, obviously coming from light to dark, same in here. Similar. Sometimes your shapes are just easier to, you know, like get than others. Like there's some shapes that you just can't get very easy because your hand is so used to drawing something one way versus another way. That's kind of what I find. Like some shapes I can really get quickly, and some that I can't. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Hit linear lines, feathering strokes, and shaded angles. Bam. Layer, contrast, dark highlights are too bright. Booyah. Yeah, I need to do something a little different. Today I did some like dreads. They're kind of cool. So good call there, Valerie. Yeah, we do spend up a lot of time talking on here. It's half the fun though. No, I should be doing more study, less talky. Alright. Cool. Very cool. I'm into that. That's fine with me. Moving forward. As always, moving forward. The Bob Ross fro. The classic Bob Ross fro. I'm gonna grab another one of these. Hopefully a little bit different. A different angle, different kind of style. I mean, this one should be way quicker. It's a just chick with a bun. It's really messy, but it might be something that actually we could do something a little more cool. I don't want I don't have that much time left, so I want to try to get through two. Not through two, but at least we'll get through one and start the next one. So Study Bob Ross, Lagertha, amazing hair. Don't make me type it. Okay. Yeah, it's got a bunch of braids. What are you trying to do to me, dude? No, I like it. I definitely do. I'll screenshot one of these. Well, that's really, really gritty. Please, not something so gritty. Please. Let's do this one. That's better. Lagertha, bro. Interesting. All right, I grabbed a few. Let's get the going. Don't bother me with your chatter. No, I'm joking. How about this little bun right here? It's like a cool little weave bun. This chick's head shape is funky compared to her hair. All right, let's get going. Basic head shape. Let's roll. So with this one, probably gonna do like big bulbous clumps to mark some things up. And then we'll break it down into ribbons, not ribs. Just trying to speak slang. Okay. Yeah, I like this one, man. All right, let's do what we do. Mm, hmm. Hope the stream never gets big. That way we don't have to take. Well, we could take elections votes for moderators, or I could just pick one. But it'd be funny though. I just think it'd be funny to have like a moderator election campaigning. Started watching Wild Wild Country about the Rushnish crazy cult back in the what was it, 80s. Crazy story, dudes. Crazy. Did not know all the ins and outs of it, but it is nuts. I'm almost done with it. Almost binged it pretty much. All right. Yeah, this is a cool one because it's like a bun, but she like twisted it somehow. You know, when she made it, or she didn't make it. I'm sure she didn't make it. But yeah, just trying to find those ribbons, like we said, like pretty much the clumpings, but I'm calling them ribbons because it makes me think in those terms. You know, flat. You want to think flat, like strips almost. You know what I mean? Like those strips that catch insects. You know, those like swirly strips. Mosquito strips. What do they call those things? Really, I'm just being more rough with my lines, and I think it's just a natural progression because the more looseness that you have, the more you don't care. The more you don't care, the contrary of what you're expecting happens. It gets a little kind of more artistic and lively. So it's working for us here. And I'm sure it'll translate, hopefully, when we get to the other end of it. Alright, so here there's this twist of this ribbon. It's just this big ribbon. Oh my god. The chick in the pics look like Corpse Bride model. What? Like the one we're working on? She looks at the corpse. Yeah, she's kind of got like this ridiculous skinny neck. I'm sorry, I didn't mean ridiculous. I meant just, normal. She's normal. I'm not judging. Just saying it is a little obscure the way the camera angles looking, putting a nose that way I can kind of gauge things. Alright, so that thing twists as it goes in, right? Like so. ribbon style. This thing goes in ribbon style. Come on. Trying to be a little bit clean about this. Alright, so from here, things sprout in from here. I'm going to stop narrating. I hate doing that. Sometimes I do that when I'm not on stream and it gets annoying even for me. Yeah, something about this hairstyle is insanely cool. I'm gonna have to softly erase this stuff up here. Not that. We want it a little softer than that. That way I can kind of see more what's going on. Okay. There we go. What are you saying, Jeremy? Oh. Yeah, she's just very skinny, potentially. Potentially too skinny. Potentially, someone needs to feed her. Potentially. But it very well could just be photo editing or whatever. Who knows? Good. I did the hair stuff because I have this tendency to just go with the flow with it, like with hair. Like I don't pay attention to like what I'm doing. I just roll, and sometimes it turns out good, sometimes it turns out bad, but it definitely doesn't turn out consistent. So with that in mind, I was like, I think hair is the next step here, on the stream anyway. You know, at least it'll give me a little bit of a jump start on the studies for him. I'll probably do a lot of hair studies out in public. It's just even more odd when someone asks you what they're drawing. I'm like, oh, I'm just drawing your hair, bro. Super creepy. Did I go too pompadour with this? Potentially. Let's bring it down just a little bit. Okay, so I think we have this clump. This is like this weave in here that's insane. This little pop off, little rolly. This hairstyle is almost like a drawing this insane landscape, almost. Like with how much it waves. And since it's on like a sphere, since you're on a head, and it's so like tight, it just feels like I'm drawing on like a planet, like a sphere, like a bunch of hills. All right. Right, next to on the front. Yes, looks like it's messed with, right? I don't know. It could be just the angle. And it's tricky. Like she's real. It could be one of those situations where she's like really twisting, but you looks like she's facing or something. I don't know, something like that. I made her face a little too long. Really, it'd be more like that, I believe. All right, I think we got the roughness in here. Let's try to knock this one out before we leave. Look at the negative space as positive space in order to check. Look at the silhouette shape. Yeah, I see you there. Oh, like where the hair begins? Is you're talking about this part here versus the head? I see what you mean there. It's a good way to check for sure. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, also this down here, the neck. You mean? Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. The right side of the brain. When we talk to whoever asked for that advice, drawing from the right side of the brain book, that is what I'm talking about here. It's like sometimes it's hard for me to jump into that space, that mental space. So, um, I think I'm gonna keep things a little more hard edged this time, just to keep it more simple. It'll be a fun experiment. I don't know if this is even worth going down that far with it. It's like you can see through the hair, I think, right? There's not many strands down there. Alright. I'm gonna move away from this spot because it's minor, I think. Alright. Oh yeah? Interesting. That'd be cool. Yeah, I always forget, you know. We all have like these connections. Let's throw. So here's the cool part with this one, I think, is that we're able to put these interesting drop shadows underneath these hair like ribbons because they're kind of off of the you know surface of the bun or the head. Which is pretty cool. This one is actually a kind of a challenge because there's so many different ways to go about this, and I have no symbols in my brain for how to make this work without, um, you know, like I don't have any like shorthand, pretty much, which is a good thing because it means I'm forming it right now. Oh, thanks, man. Well, it all comes down to like I said, it's time under tension over here of getting used to the iPad 1 and 2 of just getting warmed up, and then at the same time, like this picture is very, I don't know, it's like intriguing enough that it makes me want to get it right. You know what I mean? Where the other ones were like just normal hairstyles to warm up with. Here it's kind of like let's try to make this thing look like it's badass, you know. And that's half the battle with I think most artists is like how do you get them to care about what they're doing? And usually, like if it's a goal in life, it's something like the goal in life. It's easier because you can, you know, like if you're trying to become an artist or become a professional artist, like who are you doing that for? Are you doing that for family? Are you doing that for your kids? Or are you doing that for yourself? It's usually better if you have like an outward motive in someone else. Maybe you're doing it for your family, your grandmother, or whatever. Usually that's enough to push you to for other things. Same thing with art. It's like if you have something that is motivating you beyond it looks cool or maybe just because you're super passionate about the project you're working on, it's easier to kind of jump into things. So I think that's one of the reasons why this one's turning out a little better, among many things. And I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can as well. Like I like complex shapes, but I don't like over detailed stuff either. Like it's this happy medium, and that's why the pros are pros, you know. Um, and some pros I don't like, and that's because they don't hit that mark. Like some of them draw every blade of grass, or you know what I mean. Like a rose, Joe. um, but yeah, that's my kind of like a rose, like for the hair, for the bun. That's what you're talking about. I think this line should go down. Like that. But yeah, like a rose, you're like it's overlapping shapes. And that's what it's all about. Here I'm just going to block in some shadows. And this is my favorite part of comic art is grouping shadows. It's kind of like a fun way to simplify the forms. I do this a lot with every person's hair. Like, especially if it's short hair and they have spikes, I'll do say, all right, let's just say she's got a couple spikes on top. I'll do the same thing. Like, here's an anime spike or whatever, right? If the head's going down like this, I'll throw the shadow down underneath. It's pretty classic technique, and then it looks like it's there, obviously, just like anything else. But I do that a lot, and so it's just cool to have it both combined with the ribbon technique here, and to see it work and see it in action. It just like is very cool to see, and it gives me a chance to kind of like use the white as well. Give some feathering. Hmm. Don't like this set of them. Thing is, like when I do my hair, I don't ever get this like detail with the shading of the follicles. Like this is kind of a technique I never really do. So maybe it's a good thing I'm doing it. Maybe I'll learn to like it. Maybe I won't. But I really don't like going out this detail with it. I like to keep it as simple as possible. It starts getting to like I don't know that old gritty anime style. Oh, speaking of anime grit, I don't know if you guys read any anime or not anime manga, but I try to get into like the Attack on Titan stuff on Comixology because it's free with the Unlimited, and I couldn't do it because mainly because the art. I just it's too sloppy. I could like it was giving me like anxiety how much I didn't like enjoy the art. I was like, why does everyone love this? Like the art's so messy, and that's kind of how I get with a lot of things. I just don't get how people can look past the rough things. I mean, everybody likes things differently. So, and yeah, have seen how have seen using eraser as tool to render strands. Yes, I have. I don't know. Like you're talking about, like instead of like going here with your eraser and pull the negative instead of the positive. Um, I mean, I've seen it and I've done it a couple times, but I generally don't. What's your? You think it's a good technique? Something I should use? Oh man, stream's almost over, dude. Just realized it's pretty cool. I mean, we could save it for the next round of hair, and we can start with this, or we can just call it quits, or I can finish it now. I'm down for whatever. I wanted to get that valley, but I'll get it afterwards. The valley's right here. The valley, like Hollywood. Alright, interesting. Alright. I didn't want that. I want it more broken up. Maybe not that either. But yeah, it's about time to go, guys. What do you guys think? Oh shoot, Dragon made it. Nice. What's up? This is the hair. Been doing this hair today. Drawing hair. It's fun. Good times. I mean, I could continue on for a little bit longer, but it's kind of up to you guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm picking it up. I mean, it's like obviously it's not the first time I've done hair studies, but yeah, every time you do it, you pick up something quicker or better or whatever else. Um, but yeah, I appreciate it, Ken. I'm really the whole point of the study stream is to do it that way. Um, so yeah, I'll keep going for a little bit. Let's do that. Let's keep the fun happening here. Let's keep going. Mm, like when I'm actually inking hair, it's a different kind of feel. I think, especially on paper. But yeah, I think about things totally different depending on how they're coming about. Yeah, nobody does these kind of like if someone does. Oh shoot, it's all good, dude. Go hit running errands. I'm just gonna finish this up, but thanks for coming along, Ken. Enjoy. Let me know what you think about the races. Trying to figure out which line I want to do first. I think I'll do this clump. Yeah, I like some of what I got. There's a couple that are not going along with what I see, but also my underdrawing is a little off too, so that's where it's at. Let's see here. The line I want, we just have to get rid of this thing. Ah, getting tweets. Tweets. Tweets and tweets. I want that to be higher, so let's get rid of this. Cool. All right. Well, definitely pretty much there. Just want to define a few more things. If you guys want to file out, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to work on this for a minute more. Refine some stuff. As soon as I gotta tell you, like drawing on stream is good for getting over your nerves, for sure, in front of people. So there's a balance and repetition of similar shapes. I bet you naturally achieved a golden ratio balance here or close. Yeah, I mean it's for sure. It's some things that I don't like, but there's a lot of it I do, and I mean the hairstyle itself is pretty good. You know, like it in the reference. Know what I mean? So that helps. It's all about that warm up, yo. That's how it goes. Let's see here. And like, obviously, this is way more than I'd probably do in any comic. Like, I'd probably stop already, unless it's a cover or something, you know. Um, but yeah, it'd be something similar to like this amount of detail. You know, like a lot of it I would roughly shade. And a lot of times the roughness helps just like give it flow. But thanks for stopping by, everybody. This is I'm gonna, like I said, work on it for a little bit longer. But if you want to stick around, stick around. If not, thanks for showing up. We learned how to draw some hair today. Yeah, good night. Um, Definitely true there, Jeremy, for sure. Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're doing it right, it's hard to like stop looking at because you're gonna find you're following all the shapes and following it all around the head. So, but yeah, definitely achieved hair goal. Oh, thanks a lot, Dragon. That's freaking awesome, man. Uh, I really enjoy doing the streams, so thanks for coming and you're like the foundation that is the Kick-Ass Study stream. So, um, I really appreciate all you guys coming and just keeping me from getting too lonely while I'm studying. And yeah, it's awesome. Good times. I'm gonna call it quits on this one. We're gonna save it up, save it for next time. There's definitely we want to do more braids. Um, can can won't let it go away if we don't do that one chick. So we'll do that one girl next time. We'll do some braids and we'll do short hair, which I think is way easier, and do a little bit of guys hair, which is also um, easier. There's a lot of stuff in the front here that I could do, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I think the cool part about this hairdo is done. I'm the resistance. Oh yeah. Uh, but awesome for showing everybody. Have cool the rest of your night, and I'll see you next time. Tomorrow's 29, and we're doing probably some figure drawing, posing maybe. Night, guys.